Good morning, everyone. My name is Ellie Pressman of Barnet Wills, and I'm your local specialist estate planner and will writer. Why would you use an estate planner rather than a will writer or local high street solicitor? Well, let me tell you. Last week, I went to visit an unmarried couple who had been together a number of years and had a young child about 9 years old. Their only asset was the family home, which was owned jointly and was worth about £900,000. Both the will writer and the solicitor told them there was no need to have an expensive will, that a simple, straightforward will was all that was needed for the purposes of appointing a guardian to look after the son. I immediately spotted a flaw in that thinking. Because they were unmarried, there is no spousal relief, so anything passing between them would be subject to inheritance tax over and above £325,000. As half the house is £450,000, that means that on first death, that extra £125,000 would be taxed at 40%. So there would be a £50,000 tax bill on first death. Now, as there was no cash in the estate, only the house, the surviving partner would have to find 50 grand somewhere to pay that tax bill. On second death, the surviving partner now owns the entire house, 900,000, which would pass to their son. This time we do have the residence nil rate ban because son is the lineal descendant, so the first £500,000 will be tax-free, which means that £400,000 will be taxed at 40%. So that's another £160,000 inheritance tax on second death. So their combined tax bill would be the 160 plus the 50, which is £210,000. I suggested that they change their ownership from joint to tenant in common so that their respective halves could be passed through the will and should be passed into a trust with each other and their son as beneficiaries. Because the son is a beneficiary of the trust, we can claim his residence nil rate band allowance, which is an additional £175,000. So on first death, we have £500,000 that can be tax-free, but actually only £450,000 is actually going into the trust. So that means that on first death, there's no inheritance tax. On second death, the remaining £450,000 would be passed, and again, there would be no inheritance tax there. So doing it my way actually saves them £210,000 inheritance tax. And that's why you should use an estate planner rather than a will writer. So who do you know that's unmarried, has children, and owns their own home? They could be in for a large inheritance tax bill, which could potentially be avoided. So get them to give me a call. That's Ellie Pressman of Barnet Wills, specialising in wills to die for. Thank you.